Hey everyone, and welcome again to Razor's Edge. This is Jim. Hopefully you watched the episode yesterday. I posted up on the Greenland shark. I could not beat that record. He's 33 on the leaderboard. Apparently now the leaderboard, since I played back when this came out in 2017, it was based on total fish count. They changed it to monthly, and at some point after I stopped playing, they dropped it off or changed it to monthly and by fish. So I looked, and one of the leaderboards is on the Wels Catfish. Wels Catfish is a fish found in Japan, so you'll need the Japan DLC for this. And if we take a look, not a lot to look at. These things get upward right now. I think the leaderboard, there's a 500 pound on record for the month. This guy's only 600 or 65 pounds. So obviously we've got our work cut out for us on this guy. But let's go ahead and take a trip. I'll show you where I found them and what I'm using to catch these. So here's a Japan DLC. It's a really beautiful map. Not very optimized as some of the other DLC, but very colorful. Very, very cool. They got the canoes. As you can see, there's a little bit of stutter here as I'm loading in. But there's canoes. You can take them around the map. The map is very large. I think the average depth is 16 feet. So most of your fishing, if you're fishing live bait, is going to be on a bobber, and or a lure. I did get the DLC for the additional lures, which I thought was pretty cool. There's a lot of new, I picked up a lot of new lure types that I'm going to play around with. So I'm pretty excited to try some of these out. I think it should have been free, but it's on sale right now for like I think 79 cents. Not too god awful, but anyway, these are all the spots without the canoe. I mean, you can literally traverse the whole map by a canoe. But I found the deepest area is over here by number 7, in this area right here. So this is where we're going. I'll just take a time warp. And where I've been fishing for these is down at the end of this pier. You can't use the tripod on this dock for whatever reason. So one pole, sorry for this. I've tried different stands. They just broad pod can't be put here. But anyway, if you're on realistic mode, obviously you're not going to get the warning about the hook size. But I'm using this as a marker. So we're at number 7 at the end of the pier, and this little guy, and about straight out in that area right there. It's about 30 feet deep. The reason I know that is I'm actually fishing off the bottom. The developers of this game are pretty accurate as far as fish behavior and depths. Catfish are primarily bottom feeders, trash fish. They do eat bugs and worms, although interesting enough, under baits, when I went to worm, they're not in here. That bait is not in here for that fish. They are for the koi, but I'll probably catch a few of those just for the tank later on. But this is a new DLC for me. So but anyway, I scrolled down through and I found that the fly, in fact, just the regular old house fly, is on the list. Somewhere down in here. Don't take my word for it. It's there. Because I want to go down and let's take a look at some of these other bugs. I think I checked the wax worm. It wasn't there. I know it really doesn't matter. But I wanted to look at some of these other, because they may have preference for bugs, the type of bug. Um, and I do see a dragonfly in there. So I'm going to go ahead. I always try to keep all these at 99. So we're going to switch this, to a dragonfly. And then I am using, a lure bait in the feeder, which is the grain, herbal grain, because what these do is they scatter that scent. So as you're fishing, you're just going to attract more and more, catfish. So nothing hurt there. And plus it's a lot bigger than the fly. So, let's go ahead and cast out. And, for this, I'm going to do my typical style. Just, I go 100% drag, and I just manually let the drag out using the middle mouse button. I don't know what it is on the controller. And then full reel speed. They do initially put up a fairly decent fight. I think I had to let the drag out maybe 2 or 3 times, before it tried to snap the line. I guess I should go over the equipment. Standard line. This is the other than deep sea fishing. Why, this, and then you get into the fly, line here. But this is the largest before you start getting into the salt water. Maybe I'm wrong. Holy cow. Hold on. Am I wrong? No, I'm using that. Yeah, it's the strongest line before you get into fly, and then obviously the salt water. Hook size. Right now I just have the hook set. I'm using the Kubot 76, and 115 pounds. If there's gonna be a 500-pound in here, we should easily be able to do it with that hook right there. So we're gonna set 140 to 315, 375, to start. And let's see if anything is in this area. So now I'm gonna cast out here. I'm not gonna bore you. I'm gonna pause the video recording until I get one on the line, and we'll go from there. Okay, so they do have canoes. And they have these little, I'm not sure what the name of these boats are. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce them because I don't want to butcher it. But I think I need to be deeper. And what's nice with these versus the canoe is I can actually see on the radar some of the sizes of the blip. So I'm going to go back to that landmark, that we were just at, and fish deeper, further out into the water, because I can't get my line out far enough where it's probably deeper. I don't know. Let's try in here. So at least on here we can use a pole, or the holder. There's the edge of that dock we were on, just for reference. Let's see if it's any deeper. Yeah, it's definitely deeper out here. Oh yeah. So I think we're gonna have better success on the boat. Further out into that number 7 spot, which is over there in orange. And I'm just going to see if I get the message my hook's too. Yeah, so it's telling me a smaller hook. So, let me fumble around with some of these spots and some of the what I find on the radar. There is a lot of landmarks here. I love the mountain there. Um, Man, it's so beautiful in Japan. If you've ever been. Um, but yeah, let me find the sweet spot for these guys. And we'll come back. Okay, it had me go up a hook size. So I guess as the more I'm casting with this lure, I've attracted in. I saw a couple big blips. It's 62 feet deep here. But this may be where they caught it. I think this hook is good up to. We'll look at it after if I get a strike here. Not gonna record too long. I'm trying to pause as often as possible. Just not to bore you and I don't have to put bookmarks. I may go to 2 poles on this just to play around with different bait if maybe they're not interested in. I did switch to a cricket, as you can see up in the top right. And I also saw one swim to the top. And it was pretty big. So that may be what we're chasing in here. There we go. Let's see. So, one. Give him a couple times and now let's try pulling. Wow. I don't want to lose this. These things are strong. I want to get him up out of the off the bottom where they're the strongest. Well, this is definitely much bigger than the one that I caught. That was I showed you in the tank. Holy cow. There we go. Ooh. I think regardless of your line size, they can get underneath stuff and they'll evade your catch. Regardless that you've got, what, 800-900 feet of line. I'm not sure how much line I have on this one, on this spool. Really interested. Surprised that it had me change the hook. The first message I got was smaller. So I went down a hook size. Then it told me I needed bigger. Holy crap. Can't even fit it on the screen. 500. I think we just set the leaderboard. 500 was the weight on that one. Yeah, I think that's a record. I think we just beat it. Wow. So let's review. Cricket or grasshopper, sorry. The pennant cage, and then for the feeder bait I'm using just herbal grain. And then obviously the Q.J J55, whatever the hell that is. I wish I told you how much line you had in here other than just durability. So I think you could do this at around level 17. I don't think you need anything special here. Other than maybe the durability of the rod. I don't think you need all this fancy gear to catch this. I really don't know, folks. But that was the hook size that we used, which is the Kubat E77. I just had it set all the way out from 357 to 11. Well, you can read. So yeah, that was it. And I think we just nailed the leaderboard. Let's take a look. I don't know if it'll show us here or not. It's going to be towards the bottom. Wels Catfish. I'm not sure what this means. 541. That's it. I don't know how these get calculated, honestly. Because it's showing up in here twice. The 500-pound. Anyway, whatever. I don't care how it's measured, but oh look, there's some bigger ones. 540, 534. So I'm gonna fish in here for a little bit more, see if I could beat my own record on these, and then do some koi and some others just to kind of, since it's new DLC for me, there's a lot of new stuff for me to catch. But hopefully this helps you. I really enjoy this DLC. I really like it. And a lot of options. You got the canoes. You've got these boats with the fish finder radar, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If you're chasing leaderboard or you're just interested in where the spots are. Number 7 on the map. And these are all your landmarks. This seems to be the deepest point on the map. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy these videos. If you like these fishing sims, I certainly do. This isn't my favorite one, though I play several. One of them's actually free. But I do like these developers, and I've been playing around with their new I really don't know what it's gonna be. It looks the same as this one so far. It just has one map. It's free to play. If you go to Ultimate Fishing, you'll see Ultimate Fishing 2, or it says something update or revitalize. Maybe it's just Ultimate Fishing 2, but take a look at it. Tell me what you think. It's not optimized at all, which I find kind of hard to believe. Maybe it's a new engine. I don't know. I have not spent that much time looking at it. But anyway, again, thank you for watching, and look forward to episodes of this game and all the other games I cover. I do this for you, not for me. I don't really care about monetization and all that bullshit. I just like sharing. So take care. Have a great day. And we'll see you later on the next video.